Okie dokie. Audio check. Audio is delicious, as it always is. Wonderful. Alright, we'll give it about a minute, and then we'll jump into things like we always do. The usual introduction and all that other good mayhem. And also my face is numb, but that's gonna be like that for at least a month or so, from my understanding. Nummogen. Anyways, hello everyone. I'm Firespit, everyone's most favorite broken protogen, and welcome back to the channel in which we're going to be doing more Oxygen Not Included. And as somebody had pointed out, yes, last stream, yes, 400 cycles in, and I'm only now just setting up an oxygen generation system because I just had that much algae stockpiled. Like, that's a lot of algae. But let's go ahead and jump right into things, shall we? In which we actually have... Okay, cool. Audio is going through. We have that, and we also have this. And we have that delicious resume of doom. The doom resume. What are you working on? Okay, so we did. Also, that's another thing. I need to take care of all of this, which I'm actually going to go ahead and do right now. Plumbing. What is this? Okay, that's crude oil pump. Or pipe. Okay, I understand what that is. Yeah. Because this drains out into here unnecessarily, but it's what I am doing. Not for long, though. Actually, hang on, let's go the other direction. And then power. Perfect. Because basically what we're going to go ahead and do is get liquid bridge built right here. And yeah. Start actually draining out all of this liquid because it's all just spilling down here, which is going to have a whole other set of issues, what with this. And maybe I'll do something with the copper volcano. I don't know. I've also got this bad boy here. Kind of work in progress. It's getting there, gradually. What are you doing? I see. You're off the farm. Because you're carrying what? What are you carrying? Dirt. Repair ceiling light. Right, I don't have access to Pemician or Berry Sludge. Both are unfortunate. That's fine. The rest of the base is being kept moderately cool, so... that's not good. My unfortunate decision and just kind of bootstrapping cooling using that. Oh well. This is still going to be obnoxious. Yes, we still have a lot of chlorine gas just kind of dancing around. But it's manageable. For the moment. Oh, hang on a second. No. Alright. I'm not quite in the situation to get more bionic duplicants going. Tempting as that may be. That's a problem. That's bleach stone just kind of sitting there. Yes. Yeah, eye irritation indeed. But at the moment we are kind of managing, so at least there is that. What are you doing? How did you... That was weird. Okay. I wish I could set like a minimum amount rather than made a mess. Nails made a mess. What? Nails, what are you doing? Oh dear. Oh, nails. Oh, nails. That's right, just get bleachstone stockpiled in there. And plenty of food going on as well. Let's see here. The next big thing is, well, I want to get this plumbing established first. Teleporter network can wait. Probably don't need this anymore. Let's see here. What does this consume? 300 grams a second. These guys consume 2 grams a second. Okay, never mind. It's tossing about 100 grams every few seconds. Sometimes even more. Awesome. How? You know what? Don't answer that question. I don't want to know how. That's gonna make 12,800. 4 should be sufficient for that. Well, oxygen levels are at the very least rising. Slowly. I may want to set up a separator at some point just to split this off in 2 separate directions because there's only so much gas traffic that can go through these vents at a time. Having a separate route that just goes up into these exosuits would probably not be a bad idea. What am I spacing? Oh, gas. Okay. And spacing carbon dioxide, that's fine. Very numb face. So it's gradually increasing. Very nice. Ulti, what are you doing down here? You are not waterproof. Oh, there he goes. Doofus. Silly bionic. What are you doing? Drinking water, apparently. Actually, I may as well assign this to Alti while I have it available. It's not quite what I want to assign to him. I would rather these assigned to him. And then set him straight to operating, but we'll work with what we have available. There should not be any more gunk in the plumbing system. No. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, Alti has his own thing. Okay, igneous rock. Okay. And builds up 25% per cycle. Okay, that's fine. Yes, actually. Well. Yes. Alright, Ellie, welcome to the land of operating, supplying, and tidying. And a little building. I'm not sure if I need this icy fan anymore. I feel like this is just a waste of work effort. That's better. Let's see here. Yes. Not quite done yet, but there's more. There's a lot more to this thing that I need to do before I can do anything else. Actually, that reminds me. I need to check. Oh, well, a little bit of natural gas. Oh, that's carbon dioxide now. There we go. Hmm. Be bad for cooling. I think hydrogen gas would ultimately be better, but yeah, hydrogen gas would be a little bit better in thermal capacity. Okay. Well, one thing I was thinking of doing was setting up a gas cooling operation or gas cooling system to ensure specific temperatures were met, but if anything, I think specific temperatures need to be set the other direction. At least just a little bit. I think we're doing fine in here as far as temperatures go. Let's see here. I don't think this has a seed drop rate. That's unfortunate. Oh well. I may go ahead and just uproot one of these, however. Actually, that's another concern is phosphorite. I don't think I have a source of phosphorite at the moment, aside from digging it up, which is not great. Okay, y'all can't be trusted with this. Pneumatic door made out of gold. And then I'll just lock the door later. Excellent. Okay. We have high stress. Oh, no wonder. No wonder you're high stress. Never mind, that makes sense. That makes sense, never mind. It's because this keeps spilling over into here. Ah. Alright, need to get rid of that. That needs to be taken apart and pointed in the other direction. Alright, and just like that, we got liquid flow. Love to see that. That's always good to see. Alright, Alti's gonna be busy for a little while. That's fine. But that's steel. That's not what I want. Actually, hang on before I do that. Deconstruct. Oh dear, I've run out of tungsten. Alright, that's fine. I can just make... I can refine more pretty quickly. Ooh, I do not have a lot of wolframite. That's a problem. Where do I find wolframites? No, that's uranium. Ah, okay. I have to handle bees in order to get it. That's just so ever so slightly suboptimal in my opinion. Alright, we'll make some more souffle pancakes. There we go. And then the smoker is doing its thing. Okay, it's done its thing. What are you standing on? Ah, nickel. Okay. Reject all for the moment. Okay, so something I'm thinking of doing in here is establishing kind of its own power network. That way it's not as reliant on bringing power up from the surface. And on top of that, I may also give it its own cooling network. So probably, well, maybe. Might use that. Just got to get all that built first. Of course, getting all of that built first is always the issue. Multi, how are you managing? Oh, excellent. We're making microchips. Because he's got a defragment. I cannot relate. Defragmentation is kind of an older style of hard drive reorganization where you'd typically be using disk drives rather than solid state or wetware. That's intimidating. I had a thought, then I saw this, zoomed in, I'm like, that kind of looks intimidating. That is a puffed angrily giving a thumbs up. That feels like a threat. I want that. There we go. Okay, but why are you stuck like that? I see why you're stuck like that. It's not something I would entirely call a good reason, especially since we're also stuck over here. Alright, let me see if I can't fix this somehow. Of course, I can't just... Alright, that's fine. We'll use a couple of liquid valves, see if we can't fix things that way. Actually, I shouldn't have to. If I just do that, that should redirect the flow. Emphasis on should. What are you doing? Okay, you're doing that. Except that requires, right, that needs 400 igneous rock. Which is a lot of igneous rock, don't get me wrong. Starvation, that's not a surprise. Unfortunately, it's just too cold in here. I've made zero effort to try and heat it up either. So what we can do is just get rid of these guys. Oh, I pointed this in the wrong direction. Oops. That should go like that. Not the worst detail. Dirt. Plastic. Oxalite. And then I need something for this ship that can handle long-term storage. I would like either Comisian or the other stuff, berry sludge, but I don't have access to either. Biodiesel? I can manufacture tallow though. I could manufacture tallow. Wouldn't be hard either. Oh, why? Ow. Oops. Okay. Lock. And get that built. The sooner the better. Okay, you're active, at least the receiving end. There's another one somewhere around here, that's the distribution end. I'm just not entirely sure where it is. Oops, not around here. Not there. That ain't it. Ah, there it is. Activate. Oh, sorry. This is the receiving end. This is the delivery end. Alright, this needs to be locked. Shame I can't do anything about that gas right there. gonna do that. Just for a moment. No? Really? If I do that, it's fine. This is going to be obnoxious. So if I do this, it flows and backflows. I don't know why it backflows, but it backflows. Okay, one flooded teleporter chamber. Excellent. Really, Alti? I just cannot stop Alti. Oh well. Suppose I could do that as well. Oh, alright. Alti, you're on your own. Until you can't emotionally cope with this anymore. Alti. You know, I don't recall the last time I've actually seen the Duplicants have to drink anything outside of the water cooler. And even then, they're only drinking it to get heat resistance. So I think at this point, it's just a case of the salt buildup on the water cooler, which just keep them from using it. Beyond that, not really sure I have an answer. There we go. Nope, that's still backflowing. Or backflowing. Why is that still backflowing? I don't don't understand. Why? Why is it backflowing like that? Do I need to plug it in like that? Like I had initially been here to get this stuff up and running. But apparently we're finding apparently we are finding too much complication in this single plumbing setup. Who is stressed? Alti is stressed. Alti is stressed because Alti is soaked. Alti, what's your stress reaction? Duplicant emits electrical shocks when stressed. Okay. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Okay. Anyways, that side. Bigger these, and we'll do them right here. And run these on top of that. We can just stick with standard tile. And then I'll figure something out. I'll figure out something with the hydrogen gas. Or, not hydrogen, natural gas later. There we go. And then this thing had chimed off. Gold, I'll take it. Take and run. We can leave the brine where it is. It's fine. Have I done all my research? Not all of it. It looks like most of the research I need is reliant on data analysis. I'm gonna have to move my lab soon. It's unfortunate, but I'm definitely gonna have to move it up over here, just so I can have more space to set up some rad bolt collectors. Or not rad bolt collectors. What are they? Rad bolt chambers. That way I could just stockpile a lot more rad bolts than what this thing can hold. Oh, yeah, no, I know. Invalid construction locations. You know, I keep missing Alti oiling himself up. I have not seen a bionic duplicant go through the re-oiling up animation yet. Okay, dirt. We don't need that much dirt. We can go ahead and we'll store all the plastic we can, obviously. I don't need that much oxalate in there either. Oops. Still need to figure out a food source. I could make tallow, and then I could just make Pemician. That would be an option. Because basically I just want to put a food source in the rocket that doesn't expire. Does this have a, No, you don't. Okay. Oh, here it is. Cartographic module. Yes. You stick it in there. Ah, more dirt. Just do that endlessly. I think I should be able to get away with just 4 of those. Seeing how these guys take a little while. Ah, you love to see that. You pushed all the chlorine gas down and out of here. Actually, do we have any chlorine? Not a whole lot, no. Wonderful. We've got rid of most of it. It's still a shame I can't do a water hookup into these things directly. But, ah well. We work with what we've got available. And sometimes what we have available just ain't as much as we think it is. Or it's more than we realize. And in my case, it's probably more than I realize. That's unfortunate. Ran out of steel. But I need those bunker tiles. We're missing lime. Come here, you. Right, actually, I have to go into here. I can't just enter a skills tab through her screen. Ulti, what do we got? There we go. Yes, we'll take the food. The delicious tender brisket. Alright, what do we got on this? Not quite enough. Need more focus on this. And get that cartographic module built right away. That way the rocket will be capable of doing reconnaissance missions into this unknown territory here. Actually... Interesting. No, we're not gonna do that. I was debating setting this rocket up to allow bionic duplicants, or to be set up for bionic duplicants, but I have decided against it. I don't think it would be a great idea. Instead, though... these wires built. And it's still a vacuum, but it hasn't been given any oxalite yet. A little annoying, but manageable. Nope, that's not good. I'm going to assume too much water production, not enough consumption. course. Because this is still being a problem. Alright, going back again. If only I knew. If only I knew why this insists on fighting me so much. Many letters go indeed. But not nearly as much as the Duplicants. The little Hellraisers. I've got these guys. I need to do something with these pips. Yeah, that is a better hat. Where is Alti? There he is. Okay. Okay, is anyone gonna build this? Not yet. Okay, it just needs more igneous rock. Which, I probably should just change the material out from igneous to something else. That's a little more accessible, but... oh well. I have attempted to get that thing to behave with OBS a few times over. And unfortunately, I cannot get it to behave with OBS because the game itself is too old. It kind of corrupts the recording. And, well, it's not that it corrupts the recording, it does the thing a lot of older games tend to do, and it turns the video into rainbow glitter vomit. I'm sure there is a way around it. Unfortunately, I have not found a proper way around it. See if we can't get some more water draining out of here. Oh boy, what do we got? That was flying off. No, we'll just take the deep. Looks like we got everything. At least research-wise, that doesn't require computer chips. That's definitely reachable. However, what I'm thinking is I'm going to change these pipe materials. Instead of igneous rock, we're going to use granite, which is closer. Okay. Alright. You have fun with I'm not actually sure what the story beat in WoW currently is. But enjoy. I think we're good on food for now. Actually, you are digging and building. Into the cocktail shaker with you, Ellie. Man, I get this thing's supposed to scrub the skills from somebody, but yeah, it's not scrubbing the skills from you so much more that it is giving you a monumental concussion. You know what? No, we're not going to need that. We're just going to break into there directly. I may need to replace this rocket well, no. This one probably not. But I will need a new rocket platform somewhere else, because I have these things. Yeah, these guys. And it's not really useful if it's just connecting to the one side. That thing's going to need to be able to connect to both sides. I'll probably save that for my second rocket. The first rocket up here is just planned as a recon vessel. And then there's this guy. What do we make him? I think it's just more sweet corn. Yes, just making veggie poppers. Delicious veggie poppers. And we use granite since it's just right here. And then still no breathable air, that's unfortunate. Okay, next thing we're going to do is, come morning, the following cycle, we're going to go ahead and load Ellie into the teleporter. We're going to molecularly take her apart and then reassemble her somewhere else. And that's about as pleasant as it sounds. Have I gotten this thing working? No, I have not. Do I have this backward? I think I have this backwards, is why. No, that's not right. Just get that built. You could, thank you. There we go. Goodness. That took way too much effort. Okay. Oh, that's a problem. That's a silly little problem right there. Alright, Ellie, it's time to be quantum teleported. Probably the worst kind of teleportation. Get into the paper shredder built for people. There we go. And goodbye. Alright, what do we got on this planet? Steam vent. Let's see, we got inputs. A little bit of oxalate, no surprise there. A lot of mud. Polluted water vent, and that'll keep temperature in check, at least for a little bit. Water geyser. Gas. A lot of geysers. Or I should say a lot of vents. Manageable, but not quite what I was hoping to find. It's fine though. Oh, hello, Plug Slug. Well, that'll deal with power here. A little bit of food here. Not a lot. It'll do. Not yet. Get the ladder built first. Oh, that's a problem. That is just straight up a volcano. How delightful. Cool, steam vent could also be a problem. Thimble reeds. Reliable source of, well, reed fibers. A lot of polluted water, though. I'm not sure there's a lot I can actually do with this place. That is a lot of volcanoes. Oh dear. How are we doing here? And breathability's fine. What is that? Resin. Where'd the resin come from? That's peculiar. Did you overflow? Like it. Weird. Very weird. There we go. Not sure how I feel about this planetoid, though. It's not... He's not great. That's 3 volcanoes and a steam geyser all right next to each other. That is just... Oh dear. Of the beneficial things, though, there are thimble reeds, there are easily accessed thimble reeds, it looks like. No, we may as well bootstrap this place anyways. Furniture. This is not a good planetoid. Ooh, mushrooms. Actually, that could be useful. Oh, nice. We got oxygen going in here. Excellent. Gotta think. Unfortunately, still gotta think. You guys like both thimble reeds, arbor trees, and bonbons. You guys will eat crystal berries and bog jellies all the same. Bog jelly is a little bit higher heat output. Let's see here. Berry sludge needs either like apples or bristleberries, which I don't have. That's not helpful. Hang on, is that tiny jungle? That's a tiny little jungle biome. Are there Drecos here? If there are Drecos, that changes things up if there are Drecos. Then actually one thing I want to do right away is also I need to get the printing pod established. So this one gets the inputs. Oh dear. Right, I need cobalt. There we go. Yeah, though I can already say I'm not a fan of this place. That could be at least a little useful, but even then... No Drecos. Unfortunate. Oh, there's the Dreco. Hello, little sheep gecko. You are suddenly extremely useful. Weird. Oh well. Airflow tiles established in here. We're going to take these apart under automation. And the reason we're going to do that is I want to lower them. We're going to do that. It's actually pretty straightforward. that might actually be out of reach. Hang on. If it is, that's fine. I'll just deconstruct this for the moment. You're idling. That's not good. Then again, I can't say I entirely care about your idling. Oh, that's kind of nice. There's a little snowy biome in here. Oh! Well, that changes everything. I can't say I've ever seen chat disappear before. By the same token, I wouldn't know if it was disappearing. Hopefully it gets sorted out quickly. But, nicely beat. Okay, we just found a game changer here. Anti-entropy thermal nullifier. Uses hydrogen gas and basically just consumes an amount of heat around it. It only cools off ambient gas around it, but even then, that's still... This place just got some mileage, some big mileage. If I can take over these volcanoes. And for a few reasons, we've got Drecos, we've got... Well, primarily we have Drecos. Slugs I don't care too much about. They're nice, don't get me wrong, but... Go ahead and print the coal here at base. Don't understand why this is blocked off. Oh, I see everything. That's a problem. Oh, right, you guys went through here. I'm surprised nobody got trapped. I'm genuinely surprised that nobody got stuck in here with that bit of iron ore in the way. I feel kind of silly for missing that. Oh well. What are you... Okay, I see you're carrying oxalate. Oops. I want here. Let's see here. Do you have... Yes, you have better digging. Okay, cool. Okay, so finding the thermal nullifier here instead of just belting out the entire name. That's huge. Like, the Wheeze warts are nice and all, but that is huge. This thing can freeze things down fairly low, not... Yeah. It ceases functionality at 100 Kelvin. Get that uncovered. What is that? Of course you can't dig through obsidian yet. That's fine. I have a duplicant with rocketry. No, I do not. Oh well. Why is there just so much resin piled up here? That's so peculiar. Alright, I'm gonna set this just to accept this backflow for now. I want to get this drained out. Yeah, so the oxygen's come out kind of spicy. Oh well. Yeah, breathability here ain't the greatest at the moment, but that's because there's not a lot of oxalite. Alright, this is outbound. Where is the... Ah! Well, that's actually very useful. They're right next to each other. Okay. Is this set up and ready? No, it's not. The reason it's not is because I need to hook up this right here. Look at it go. wait a second. Before I do that, I need to open that up. So I want to get that rebuilt first. Wait, how does that not have any power? Weird. Yeah, well. Oh, more oxalite. Go ahead and uncover that. Ooh, cosmetic. What do we get? What could it be? It's frilly bomb gloves. Do I have duplicates of that? I do have duplicates of frilly bomb gloves. This just begs one singular question. I still don't have enough filament to print the race car bed. Truly unfortunate. Okay, yell. Alright, what do we got in the printing pod? It is fertilizer. We'll go ahead and get that at Soriola. Actually, hang on. No rockets. No rocket pilots, never mind. How are you managing? Pretty good, excellent. There we go. We'll get this thing operational. Eventually. One of these lifetimes. And there goes ulti. You love to see it. You don't like to see, however, the high temperatures. I do, however, have a workaround for that. Bear with me, though. It's going to be a little bit weird looking. But, manageable. Go ahead and airlock off this door. Yeah, because the thing's overheating. Okay. I want power. Snip. What are you made out of? Ah, you're made out of iron. You should be made out of steel. Yucky yell. Another ice biome just up there. Jungle biome. What biomes does this place have? Tundra, swamp, jungle, marsh, wasteland, magma, barren. Huh. Interesting. This is probably the barren. How interesting. Just refined iron ready to be harvested. Very useful. Very useful indeed. What are you doing? Okay. I see what you're doing. Skills. Yucky, yeah. Okay. Ellie does not have enough skills to get the next level of digging just yet. Unfortunate. Ultimately, I would like to figure out what this is. If it's the polluted water vent, that would be awesome. If not, that's going to be a little bit of a problem. And in which case, hopefully that could also be the polluted water vent. Actually, does this place have any metal volcanoes? It does. It has cobalt and aluminum. I might rely on the cobalt volcano for this place. Oops. The cobalt volcano for this place to feed the plug slugs. Because that could be very useful, as these guys produce both electricity and hydrogen gas, and I can feed the hydrogen gas directly into this. Anyways, though, let's see here. This has been made out of steel now? Yes, excellent. Okay. utilities, I'm going to want thermoregulators. We'll go with 2. Really need igneous rock. We have plenty of granite lying around here and it'll work. What are these being made from? Not steel. Alright, that can wait then. Okay, so basically what we're going to do here is set up a gas cooling system that will use the natural gas in a two-step process. We'll be cooling off natural gas inside of these guys as soon as I have access to steel, and then routing it around through here to make sure this place is kept at a tolerable temperature. And then we'll also be using it as a heat sink medium, so we can just soak up the heat inside the natural gas floating in the room ambiently, and then we'll just vent it out into space. That is efficient as it gets. And then this place, well, this place I got nothing for you. Other than this abomination right here. Even with something like the thermal nullifier, cooling off the volcanoes is going to be difficult, to say the least. Oh, yeah, the plug slug's gonna eat the iron. That's fine. I think one thing I'm gonna do, though, is swing around morning time. I'm gonna send her home. Well, I say home. I'm gonna send her back to here. And let's see here. Automation, thermal sensor. I guess it doesn't really matter. There we go. Now what do we got here? Building, researching, rocketry. There we go. I don't like that he's cooking rocketry and building, but that's fine. Okay, that's gonna take, what, 3 days to recharge? 5 days, okay. We'll hold off 5 cycles before teleporting somebody else. Well, 4 cycles. So cycle 451. You goofballs. But at least they can get all that taken care of. You know what? Hang on a second. What's the plastic? But I should also hold off on the plastic for the moment. There we go. And dig out all of that right away. Food is good for now. Of course, that's full. That's going to be a problem. Oh, hi, random polluted water. Oh, looks like we're also just doing fine on oxygen in general. Excellent. Alright, cool. Next thing then. Actually, hang on. I'm going to do that. No, because these guys need to be in here in Atmos suits. And this place is otherwise pretty high pressure. I'm not sure. I'm suddenly not very sure, but that's no surprise there. Oh, good. That's ready to be operated. Excellent. Why are you stating you have no power? Ah, that's why. Okay. Oh goodness, could that take any longer to drain out? Okay. Yeah, well, that's fine. So all that matters for you, Frankie, is rocket piloting. And the hat that goes with it. Unfortunately, I still need to figure out food. Yeah, no, still no salt water for drinking. It's going into here. And then it's going up into here. It's got a few uses. One of its primary uses is in the rust deoxidizer. It's also used for making, well, salt water for various other things. Production of bleach stone, making it into sand, and table salt as a side effect. Let's see here. And you would need salt water for, well, growing water weeds. Which is, I'll be honest, not something I'm super invested in doing, but it is a valuable approach. As the water weed is used for making certain late game foods. Okay, do we have the steel? We have the steel for 1. And let's have it face that way. We'll just go with some industrial level drywall. Well, actually, not entirely. New utilities with mafic rock will work. 'cause... There we go. Unfortunately, the salt water cannot be drank. But the table salt can be served up on the tables for a morale boost. Don't let us deal to make that. Unfortunate. Oh well. Okay, so this is gonna want to flow in this general direction, so... Go ahead and put a gas bridge up here. Need to get it in here. Okay, no, how am I gonna do that? Nope, can't drink salt water, unfortunately. It is just too high in sodium content. How much power does this thing use? 200, only 240? That's not bad at all. I could plug it into this. Well, no, actually. I could plug a 1 into that. Yeah, it would still be something. Anyways, just waiting that shale. Wait a second. I just realized something. I got that running backwards. Oops. I was under the impression the gas is gonna run this way. No, it's gonna run this way. Okay. That's an easy change. I can rotate that, or I can just carry through with my mistake. Ooh, nice, extra steel. This should probably be made of actually igneous rock. But otherwise, I'll just look for the mistake. Besides, I'll have 2 of these. And regardless of what materials run through here, it reduces the temperature, as pointed out here, by 14 Kelvin, which is quite a fair bit. Get that built with granite. Or I guess sedimentary rock would have also worked. Oh well. Okay, excellent. So we can go ahead and that. Ooh. Okay, I just realized something. I need to change this direction. Okay, that's fine. There we go. Right, of course, we're gonna have guys that exosuits working this. That's fine temporarily. Alright, nails. Hey! Pleasant have you being able to swing around. Or sneak in here, depending on how you want to look at things. That was the last of my teacup. That's unfortunate. Oh well. It's not quite a problem. No, it's not, because that's not venting out in space. Alright, that's fine. But I should still bridge that up. Okay, so basically at the moment the plan of action is getting a gas-based cooling system established in here. But everybody has decided to go to bed instead. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh well. They do. They be very sleepy. Which is unfortunate because I needed them to be working right now. Actually, speaking of... Go ahead and just open that door. Let's get them working hard. Or hardly working, whichever one, really. Oh, still got more salt water right there. Speaking of which... I don't need that pipe. Excellent. Oh goodness, we are kind of over capacity on oxygen production. Huh. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, well. Oh, definitely. After all, this just leads right into the vacuum. I've got Alright, that's just pumping out of there, that's fine. Oops. That is completely vacuum. That was not intentional. Oh well. Let's see, the only one who's not sleeping right now is probably Alti. Oh, even Alti was sleeping. Goodness. Microchips before I can make this. Next thing I need to worry about is getting this tackled. What do we got? Alright, that's what we got. My current cadre of duplicants is sufficient. Interesting, they all insist on wearing the exosuits despite having the store open. It's not overheat. Huh. Oh well. I mean, I'd feel important too getting into an exosuit. So I can't say I blame them at all for that. Alright, we need to analyze this still. What are you up to, Alti? Ah. Getting more of this running. Wonderful. Get these things running a little colder. Get a little more cold water running through these pipes, cool this place off a little bit more effectively. Okay, the world's got the volcano analyzed. And we got some extra lead being dropped off. Wonderful. That is almost ready to go. I need to reset up this room, but I may have to move things over just a little bit. Oh well. Oh, Alti running right through the water again. Okay. So unless we got somebody, we do. We forgot to set. Yeah. Gotta lock that door. Is not a lot, but it'll it's the proof of getting started, even though it's just a handful of grams. Or microgram. A singular microgram of natural gas. Oh dear. Proof of concept. Alright, where is this headed? As if I didn't already know, I'll probably have to switch these gas pipes around. Yep. Alright. Everyone's off sleeping, ulti's off defragmenting. An arguable process, but at least it yields a microchip. Yeah, I got my outputs backwards. Not entirely surprising, but... Okay, that's everything. Let's get these rebuilt. And then we had a printing pod finish. Yes, we did. I don't, however, need anybody right at this moment. There's one thing I will need, though, is Abe will need to be sent over to a planet I have teleporter access to. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so it's probably not going to stay cold moving through here, but once we have more natural gas being piped through, it'll help cool things off. And gradually we will. Yeah, because that's 28 Kelvin reduction between both of these thermoregulators. Which will gradually help cool things off. Not quite as much through here. We'll definitely need more natural gas, but it is definitely a step in the right direction. And then, oh yes, gas cooling specifically. Oh no. Need to vent out the carbon dioxide. There we go. Yeah, so the general idea is just to let this room heat up on its own. And then... probably going to take a little while to heat up on its own. But regardless, and then once it hits a certain temperature threshold, it's just going to get vented out into space here. And let's see here. I guess that would be an option, is just put frost buds in there for now. I'm pretty sure I have access to, No, I don't. Okay. Yeah, I got plum squash. That's not what I want. Plum squash requires ethanol, and that's not something I'm refining at the moment. Frustrating as it may be, the next big thing I need to do is, yeah. Those need to be built. Because I need this volcano blocked off. What is taking you so long? Okay. I just want to get the oxygen vented out of this room. Oh no, did I not? to set up conveyor belts. Oops. Yep, and this room has been sealed off. Okay, well... Actually... too high up. Needs to be put one lower. Basically, I just realized I have a use for this. If I was under plumbing. Mesh tiles, here we go. And then back under base, because these guys apparently have an overheat temperature. Somehow. Despite genuinely just being a water container. I should insulate this pipe, actually. Yep, there it goes erupting again. That is very hot. Oh boy. There we go. Actually, hang on. Those are full. Whoops. Steam turbine. Let's see here. And then I'll need to just build one more right there. Okay. Alright, this thing will only be active if it's above, well, below 300, 301 Kelvin. Actually, even then, that's not entirely going to be accurate. That's out of there, cooling for it later. Well, a more accurate temperature, I should say. Okay, need this to be reduced. Yeah, that should be sufficient. That's a polluted water vent. Actually, what do I do? I could be using this instead. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I see what automation wire melted. You made out? Oh, you were made out of lead. Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. That's not what I wanted that to be made out of. That needs to be made out of steel. Yeah, no, I didn't. I had not realized I used that for a lead. Lead's melting temperature is way too low to be used in there. Okay, the important thing is I got rid of all the materials that's heavier than stuff. Oh, dang it. I got rid of all the materials that would have been heavier than steam. And we'll go ahead and do 30. Alright, let's see here. We are not carrying any frost buttons. Okay, refrigerated, that's not gonna last long enough. Okay. That's not good. I know meat's not gonna last nearly long enough. How long do these things last? Nope. Sweet corn? Sweet corn into veggie poppers. Yeah, this will have to last the longest. Okay. Well, no, that doesn't need to be 9, that could just be 6. And then we'll just go ahead and run a wire. There we go. And then I realized I should actually put this down over here. There we go. Okay, what do we got here? Why do we got it? I don't need any of this right now. That's gonna be another problem, is dealing with gunk. Yeah, no, most would be like that, wouldn't they? I, however, am not going to be taking a break. At least not yet. Oh, there we go. Go ahead and disconnect that. That's plenty of natural gas being ventilated through here. Excellent. Not excellent. This stuff got slammed by meteors again. Oh dear. Oh well. Rocket's intact. That's all that matters. Dang it. Okay. Okay. I basically don't want it being like 5 kilograms of Yeah. Yeah, back in the day. Where if you spent more than 2 hours in front of your computer a day, you were tagged as a dangerous antisocial person. Got to love that. Or more, got to love how it's no longer like that. I'll be honest, there are still adults out there. There are still people out there that are like that. Genuinely thinking like video games such are explicitly just for children. It's like, come on guys, it's just another entertainment medium. And we are out here having fun. Well, almost having fun. Ooh, cosmetic print. Gotta get that shiny. And it is Team Captain Sports Gloves. Do I have a duplicate of those? I do. Alright, we'll recycle the extra one. Excellent. Is getting very hot over here, but it should be fine. Emphasis on should be. Oh, excellent. Okay, I can turn that off. Snip. These guys should be able to build through the your corners like that. Actually, hang on. No. I want... Well... Yeah, gold pipes would be best. God, everything turns back around to gold. Hopefully not. That should be accessible. Hello, oxalites, just kind of sitting there. Alright, what do you have? Okay. 4,000 calories, or 40,000 calories. Probably a little bit more food in there, and then I'll see about getting the rocket deployed. This thing is struggling so hard. This poor Weezewort. Some more frost buttons for the base. I mean, in all fairness, this method is called volcano taming. This can't be built, can it? No, no, it cannot. Well, hang on. Nope, he's going off of the steam turbine. Alright, that's fine. Of course. Clearly more pips is what's needed. Oh, that's not. No, that should be fine. What's this? Yeah, that'll be fine. Get construction running on that. We'll finally have this volcano conquered. Much like we finally have our rocket conquered. Well, okay, ready for conquest, I should say. Not quite ready for conquest. Yeah, that should be fine. Set you to round trip mode, so... Have how much food in you? 50,000 calories, okay. Once morning rolls around, I will set it to its screw. Just take a minute. More frost buns. Okay. Gonna get this built, and then I don't know. But I'll have a volcano. And quite possibly a volcano that can produce glass, as well as iron. And there's a little bit of steam dancing about. Never mind, turn it into water. Okay, it's now morning. Let's change you to crew. Where is he? Where is Frankie? Wait, seriously? Oh, dang it. Okay, I see what just happened there. You're in an Atmos suit. You're not supposed to be in an Atmos suit. And that would be why. Okay. Let's try that again. Now, where are you going? Okay, I see what's going on. Or I thought I knew what was going on. Oh, that's awkward. Frankie doesn't have a mess table. Okay, well, we will try again next morning. Alright, maybe, possibly this time around. Okay. There we go. Off in space with you, Frankie. Also, just ow, getting hit in the face with that piece. But we've got our rocket launched. Yeah, I realize that Frankie doesn't have a mess table outside the rocket. Outside of Prototype 1, but, rename this. Not yet. Radiation. Oh dear. As if I didn't know who was exposed to rads. Oh, you are not the person I was expecting to be exposed to rads. But that makes sense, you are right next to the Weezwort. Let's see here. Stations, no medicine. Ability apothecary table. Except we won't build it out of iron, we'll use nickel. Go ahead and take those. Ah, oops. Okay, so the mess table in here prevents this from being a regular bedroom. Alright, that's something I'll have to fix later. .7 cycles to fly. Oh dear, that is an aggressive meteor bombardment. Okay. Someone here has been unfortunately irradiated, so we'll just have to fix that. Make some iodine tablets. And I don't need that. That can be deconstructed. As can this. That's not a lot of sand. Oh well. Rocket. Can't wait to get a rocket with a drill cone attached to it. Okay, sufficient fuel and oxidizer and food. We are looking good. Excuse me. Oh, interesting. This just produces an unending amount of data banks. Oh, liquid demolier debris. Sulfur, petroleum, isosap. Oh, isosap. That could be useful. Yeah, it's used in making insulate. Insulate is basically abyssalite. 0 thermal conductivity. Don't ask how that works, it just does. It just kind of works like that. But that's not quite what I'm after. I'm after supercoolant. Which requires fullerene. I can manufacture fullerene, can't I? No, because I don't have aluminum. Interesting. Oh, aluminum and graphite. Can I make graphite? Or do I have to collect it? No, I have to collect it. Okay. That's unfortunate. Yeah, but what can you do, you know? 5 cycles to return. Okay, asteroid field. Unknown objects. I'd really like to hit this to get hold of the iridium. The iridium does not mess around with its thermal protection. Yeah, plus 500 Kelvin. And an additional 20% decor, but that's not the important part. The important part is going to be the fact that I've apparently gone over time by 5 minutes, but I've been too excited about Rocket. To be fair, Rocket. Space. How's Frankie managing? Frankie is managing excellently. Yeah, skill points. Okay, I see. That's fine. Alright, well, seeing how I've gone over a little bit in time, go ahead and save it here, with Frankie having a straight shot back to Sarola. And also space. But like always, I do thank you all for coming, and I hope you have a good day or good night wherever you may be. Just like Frankie's having a great time and being in a rocket. I want to be in the rocket flying through space. That would be awesome. But until then, as always, if you like my content, hit the like button. If you dislike it, hit the dislike button. And yes, a whole lot of zoom. Both in and out and zooming through space. And if you have any errant thoughts, feel free to leave those down below as a comment. And until next time, ta-ta for now, and y'all have a good one. Bye-bye!